My champion, what is going on? Today we are going to do a stretch of the spine. Yesterday we did a neck stretch, and the neck and the spine are very closely related. So I want you to have both of those tools in your arsenal when working out the body and improving your overall physical activity. It's very important to stretch, and it's very important to have those things aligned, because that's how you can prevent injuries. So today we're going to be talking about 6 very effective spine stretches. They're very simple. You need nothing else. You might need a rope, a workout band, a towel, a blanket even works for this. It's not going to be anything crazy. It's just to increase the stretch and help push your limits if you're a very flexible person already. So that might be the only thing you need. Other than that, we are going to start off by getting on our stomachs. So you can lay down like this, start here, and what we're doing is we're doing lift ups. So if going here feels good, this is where we want to go, and the target aim is right here in the back. This is where we're going to feel. We should feel it deep at the lower spine. Lift up like that if that feels good. Hold that there, and always remember, we gotta breathe. Breathing's good for us, keeps us alive. And if you want to increase the stretch, you can push up a little bit more. And the goal is you really want to be able to, push that stretch so you're really feeling in your spine. But again, this is not a competition against anyone but yourself. You really want to do what feels right for you. And breathe, and breathe. And every time on the exhale, you can go a little bit deeper into the stretch. Now what you can do is you can take your towel, your workout band, your blanket, and you put it behind your back. And what this does is it kind of helps pull your back in. And you can move your hands forward, kind of gives strength to the spine, but it pulls in a different direction. And again, we're not going for pain. If you feel a sharp pain, if you feel uncomfortable, like it's a pain that's not normal, stop immediately. That's what we do not want. We want this to feel, it's like not a pain, but it's a good pull. You want to feel a good pull. And then melt back down, chest to the floor, and let your spine unravel. Now to counteract that, what we're going to do is we're going to go into child pose. And let the spine naturally bend the other way. You can slowly roll up, chin to chest. Okay, now we're going to go into the next one. Gonna get on our backs. And for this stretch, you might be thinking, well, that's not the spine, that's the legs.
But as mentioned yesterday, I'm going to say it again, the spine is pretty much connected to every part of your body. It's a very essential part of why we can move. So the hamstrings are directly related to your hips, which are right at the base of the spine. So a lot of times spine pain or back pain is really because we're not stretching our hamstrings. So this is a good thing to do. One thing you can do is we'll start with the right leg. We want to keep this as straight as possible. And we're going for a stretch right through here, keeping the shoulders on the ground. And you can pull like that if you don't have a towel or if you don't have a mat or anything. But with your blanket, what you can do is you throw it around your leg like that, and you pull it back. And this, again, if you can only go here, only go here. This isn't a comparison game. This is you against you. And you want to feel the stretch here. You don't want it to be too intense. You want it to just be pushing your comfort zone. And breathe. Every exhale, you can pull it back and go a little bit deeper. Now let's do a few breaths here. That's my dog alarm. If you have a dog alarm, it's hard to set the time they go off. Still trying to figure that one out. Okay, let's switch legs. My left leg is a little bit tighter than my right now. So you gotta do what's right for your left leg, do what's right for your right leg. And you'll notice when you do these stretches on a regular basis, the body changes. You're going to become more flexible, but you're going to notice some days, like, wow, my right leg is really a lot more flexible than my left today. So that's why it's important to do these regularly, so the body's in tune. One more breath in. And breathe out. And slowly bring your leg down to the floor. So now what we'll do is we'll just lift up the left and the right leg. And just shake them out a little bit. And next we're going to be finding ourselves in a seated position. Get on your bum, legs out in front of you, and we're going to be taking our right leg, pulling it in just like this, crossing it over our left leg, and we're going to take our right hand, and ideally you want to have it straight and as close, and I'll try and show you with the left hand here first. Actually, you want to have it ideally as straight as possible to your back. So that's ideal. If you can't do that and you can only do this for now, that's okay. This is progress. This isn't perfection. perfection in the progress. So we don't want to injure ourselves again. So we'll start with the right leg. Cross your right leg over your left leg. Put your right hand behind your back, and take your left elbow, cross it over your right leg and twist. And look over your right shoulder. And again, if you can only do this, then do this. You should be feeling this stretch all the way up through your back. And every breath, go a little bit deeper. Okay, slowly come back to the center. Give your upper torso a little bit of a movement. Then we're going to take our left leg over our right leg, put our left hand behind our spine like a board, right elbow over the left knee, and exhale into the stretch. Try and look over your shoulder. We'll do one more breath. And slowly back to the center. We always want to come slow to these stretches. Because the body's like like a rubber band. Don't want to give it too drastic of shocks, because that's when things can get painful. So next, what we want to do is we want to get on our knees. And for the next 2 exercises, we will be on our, the last 3, I got a bonus stretch in here. Didn't tell you about that. It's a surprise. I know you're excited. Okay, settle down over there. I need you to calm down. We're stretching the spine. So on your knees, what I need you to do, and a lot of us in today's day and age, we got technology, we got computers, we got all of these fun activities that cause us to do this. We're texting on our phones, I don't know who actually types like this on their computer, but over time it can make our back do this. So we need to counter that activity. And this is an internal movement, but what we want to do is keep our spine straight and roll our shoulders back. And what you can imagine is holding on to maybe a board or handles and sinking the shoulders back. So you see how my shoulders are doing that. I'm not moving anything else. I'm just rolling my shoulders back and pulling them down. So shoulders might be like this. We're not doing this. We're dropping the shoulders fully and pulling them back. And you should feel that right here. And if you don't do a lot of this, you'll really feel it. And that's good. So you can even put your hands like this to help the process, like you're holding a bar behind your neck. Find that helps. And we're just gonna hold this stretch and deep breathe. And every time you exhale, try and pull it back a little bit more. Tight core. We're not doing this. We're keeping a tight core. This is all solid.
And you can roll your shoulders. That always feels so good for me. And you know, this is a stretch that I do many times throughout the day. You know, if your feet are hurting right now, you can go onto your toes like this, kind of move your legs around. Sometimes my feet get a little sore like that. But I'll do that stretch. I'll be walking through the day, I'll be driving in the car, and I'll notice, it'll just be a subconscious thing. I'll feel my shoulders like this, and then I quickly correct it, and I move my shoulders back. And that's what we want to do. We want to correct that to straighten out our shoulders, keep our core tightened. You can do that many times throughout a day, all the time. The next stretch is also something that you can do on the go, and it is very similar to this. Our heads want to get pulled forward by gravity, so what we want to do is chin tucks. So we're not doing this, even though the next stretch will include that, but this is a different stretch. We're you know, our heads can do this, so we want to kind of like make yourself have a double chin. So and you can even if that hurts your toes like it does mine, go back onto the flats. And yes, we can look a little silly here. Feel like I'm like an evil Dr. Evil right now. I don't even think he has a double chin, so that doesn't make sense, but and that might feel uncomfortable. You're gonna feel that back here. But what it's doing is it's allowing you to stretch that muscle of the neck and the spine where they connect. Because the spine goes all the way up here into your neck. So it's stretching that muscle, not having the top of your spine always curved. It wants to be straight. It wants to, you know, it's very similar to this stretch. So you can do these both at the same time even. Straightening it out, because our habits in this modern day, want to pull our neck forward, want to pull our neck down, want to pull our shoulders forward, and we're correcting that. The last stretch we are going to do is going to be very similar to the neck stretches, but it's tying it all in. Again, the neck and the spine are very in tune. So if you watched yesterday's video, you're going to know what we're going to do. We're going to do a micro version today. So breathing in, we're going to put our head back, and then just watch me a few times. We're going to follow our breath with our movement. So every time I breathe, I'm going to be moving my neck. So breathing in, we're going to start by rolling our head backwards. Then we roll it forward. You can do that as many times as it feels good. The last one we will do includes the spine a little bit more, and again, do this as many times as you can. And if you've noticed, every time I breathe in, I'm moving, and every time I breathe out, I'm moving as well. So the breath and the movements are intertwined, they're connected. So we're going to start by rolling our head back, but this time we're rolling our head back, and we're going to include the spine by rolling our shoulders together, putting our hands on the mat. So here we go. Now roll into a ball. Do that again, and we're going to take a few more breaths in each pose. Now let's roll our head a bit, and don't roll it too drastically here. We're just like a bobblehead. One of those bobbleheads you put on your desk or in your car. It's very subtle. We're just we moved it around, we stretched our neck. Last thing we want to do is pull a muscle. Finish it off with a thought of gratitude. Keep that to yourself. You can say it out loud. I'm grateful for another beautiful day ahead. Grateful for you showing up. Proud of yourself. Give yourself a little bit of self-love. Thank you for joining the spine stretch today. We will catch you in the next video. Continue being a champion.